Yo gamers, what's up? It's Gold Demon back with another video, right? This is just gonna be a random video. It's the New Year's special, and everybody does this normally. People go over you know, um, New Year's resolutions, right? And they talk about what they're planning to do in the new year, all that stuff. I kind of already did that in a previous video like this, right? My self-improvement one. Um, Trying to keep that up to the same. I think I've been getting more out, right? Quality, so. Um, you know, I did dip a little more like in the past couple days in terms of like actually uploading stuff. Um, there's a lot going on in the gacha space and also just life in general. Obviously there's like the Genshin launch today. I'm not gonna stream that specifically. But stuff going on. But I did want to make this video sort of looking forward and sort of give you an idea for like the channel, like what content I do, probably or I might end up doing. Um, because 2025 looks insanely stacked for games. Probably one of the best years for games like ever. Like it is so insanely stacked. It's crazy. I just wanted to talk about that and actually do a video like going over some of that stuff, right? And so yeah, that's basically what I've got here, right? So I pulled up a couple of like articles going over the big game releases, and I think this one from PC Gamer is going to be the best one to like look at here. Um, the format is kind of vertical, so that worked better on phone, but but anyways, right? So 25 insane game year, and yeah, I just want to go over it, right? They show some of their like bet or like the biggest games launching 2025, and I do think there's other ones I think could make this list. But we're just gonna go down here, right, to look at a month by month view because it looks, you could argue, very front loaded, but overall there's an insane amount of games that I think are very interesting and appealing. Not only for me personally, but you know, um, what will actually be pretty popular, right? And so, in case you haven't looked at anything like this, you might see some of these games are, if you're like anybody who's interested in content creation, you're going to see a lot of these people stream these games because they're going to, be pretty big, I imagine, right? So yeah, I just want to go through this list and talk about this. Hyperlight Breaker Early Access. This one does look pretty interesting. There's the other game, Hyperlight Drifter, right? It's a top-down game, which is pretty cool. I believe I got it for free on Epic Games. I could be wrong. I'm not gonna check right now, but I am kind of interested in it because it looks to be a 3D game this time, right? Which is more appealing to me personally, and pretty combat heavy. So I am slightly interested in that. Let's see here. There's of course the other part of Final Fantasy VII, so Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, right? You'll finally be able to get the next part of it. That's gonna be pretty big. There's a new Star Wars game called Jedi Power Battles, which I don't know what this is. Apparently, it's a Steam game. Um, it looks like it's a remaster of something. I honestly don't know, but Star Wars is pretty nice. There is the Virtua Fighter, right? So this is a nice update to a game, Virtua Fighter game, right? That's gonna come out. This is huge, right? Obviously, these older fighting games, they're pretty popular, right? This one I don't think is gonna be anything too crazy, but it's nice to get another new fighting game to play, right? I'm more of a DNF Duel fan, like Dragon Ball Fighters fan myself. I think those are like the best fighting games. So while I won't play that, that could be interesting for those people. What else is in January? There's Orcs Must Die. There's obviously Marvel Spider-Man 2 for PC. So for anybody who played on PlayStation who wanted this on PC, right? Or if you missed it because it was on PlayStation only, it's gonna go down, on the PC, right? So that's pretty nice. Of course, there's another Sniper Elite game and a couple other things here, but nothing too crazy in January, right? February is where it gets crazy. So February 4th, we have Kingdom Come Deliverance 2, which is a medieval first-person RPG that I know everybody goes crazy over the first game, and well, the developer decided to make a sequel one, right? This is a very immersive, like medieval fantasy, right, style of game that it looks really interesting, right? I've seen many things about the developer and how they've got like a unique sword swinging combat that's kind of like For Honor in a way, where we've got the different directions. But there's no like icons to like tell you like any of that stuff. You just have to figure out the combat, and I've heard a lot of good things, right? And this game does look very interesting. It's not really, I would say, my style of game, but it does actually look, pretty cool, especially if you're looking for that medieval fantasy type style. And I know that game's gonna be really big because the first one's really big. So there's that. And on the 11th, we have Civilization 7, right? I like Civilization games, right? Like I haven't played them a lot to be fair, but what I have played, I did like. And so this is very intriguing for me. There's Assassin's Creed Shadows, which I know is pretty controversial, but Place Japan, I think it is mildly interesting based off of that. And so maybe the delay makes it actually a decent game. Who knows, right? But I've stopped caring ever since Valhalla. I put in like 70 hours into Valhalla, which is already insane. Um, and I hated it. The game's terrible. I did the same thing for Watch Dogs Legion. I put a bunch of hours into that, and that game sucked. Right? I don't know what was wrong with me. I put way too much time into those games. They were not good, but who knows? Maybe Ubisoft will cook this time. Uh, they probably won't, but I hope they do. Right? Let's see what else here. Oh yeah, there's a new Tomb Raider game. So 4, 5, and 6 are being remastered, which is cool, right? And these are coming to Steam. Of the old classic Tomb Raider titles, right? So if you haven't played these, that's gonna be great. Hopefully, if they um do it, Crystal Dynamics I know is pretty well known. So and they seemingly made the other games, right? Which I didn't know. So yeah, should be pretty good for a remaster. There is Like a Dragon Pirate Yakuza in Hawaii. My friend is a huge Yakuza fan. I know Yakuza is very big, and oh, I gotta wow, crazy. I am I was born in 2005. No, not really. Um, but obviously a new Yakuza game. It looks pretty cool. I'm not a Yakuza fan myself, but I do know all the games are like in Game Pass, so maybe I should, or I probably should have started playing through them to be fair, while I've been on break. But yeah, this game's coming out. I know it's really huge, and there's a lot of people that are interested in this, especially my friend who is a huge Yakuza fan. So that's gonna be great for those players. And then the one I really care about, Monster Hunter Wilds. And the funny thing about this is that the developer of Yakuza, they moved up uh, this game like recently. They moved it up because of Monster Hunter, right? They were like, okay, we want you to have time to play both games, right? And so we're gonna move our game up so you can go and play Monster Hunter after, right? Which is insane. But if you've been paying attention to the channel, I've been glazing the hell out of Capcom and Monster Hunter like crazy. And this is my most anticipated game like ever, bro. Like I cannot think of anything that's more hyped than this, except for like true open world, and this is getting closer to that exact thing, right? And World was, peak, right? And this is just gonna be more of that, right? I'm so hyped for Monster Hunter Wilds, dude. This game's gonna be insane. I've already said it many times. I will drop everything for this game. This game is peak. It will be my life, and it comes out in 8 weeks, which is insane to think about. This. Listen. If it wasn't for one other game, I think this game would be game of the year. And to be fair, I do think World actually got stolen game of the year. Granted, I didn't play. What was it? God of War. It was. I believe that was the game that won game of the year that year. But in my opinion, it should have been Monster Hunter World. And in this upcoming year, I do think Wild should win it. Right? I know the game's not out yet, but it should. Okay, I'm just gonna say that it really should. But there is one other game that I think that's definitely gonna steal it because of the amount of lasers that game has. But yeah, February looks insanely stacked for those games. Super excited about that, right? And obviously in March there isn't anything too crazy here personally. I would say there is that Inzoi game, which is going to be like a Sims but like updated version of that, which could be pretty cool for people that are interested in Sims, right? I might even try this out if it is for free. If it's paid, then I probably wouldn't. I'd imagine it is paid though, because I believe the Sims still is, right? It's got like I know it has like over $1,000 in DLC, but yeah, Inzoi is going to be a Sims competitor, which could be really cool, right? Now, I will say the game above it, the first Berserker Kazan, this one I am really interested in, right? And I will actually probably buy this eventually, right? This game is set in the Dungeon and Fighter universe, and it's using the Berserker class characters, and they're doing a whole world around that. And it's like Dark Souls, right? And it's really cool. And Dungeon and Fighter is a Korean MMO, right? Which I really like DNF Duel, which is based off of that same universe, right? It's Dungeon and Fighter Duel, right? And DNF Duel is an amazing fighting game, and so I'm very interested in this because it's taking that same Berserker type character and turning it into like Dark Souls combat. And so I think this is really cool and interesting, and I'm definitely excited about this game, right? And it also looks sick and very like visceral and gory, right? Like seeing this the berserker, right? Just going in and like grabbing people and like pulling out blood from their guts. Like it looks really cool, right? Um I haven't seen too much of the gameplay. I've been, for most a lot of these games to be honest, except for like Monster Hunter, I've been pretty like in the dark about, but this one at least visually looks really good, and so I am excited about it, right? And there's also a bunch of other dungeon fighter games coming out that I am excited about, but this one is probably the most interesting because it is going to be like Dark Souls, but anime, right? And we've had plenty of anime Dark Souls, like Code Vein, right? As an example, that was pretty good, and I like that. So definitely interested in this game specifically. Yeah, there's nothing really else there. There's also Last of Us Part Two remaster for Steam, right? I don't care for it, but that's gonna be there. And then Revenge of the Savage Planet, which is a platforming game, which I thought this was already out. No, this is a sequel to the other ones. Okay. Yeah, so this is actually going to be a sequel to the other games, or maybe a prequel, but yeah, it's a part of that same franchise. There's even more games, like, there's, games to be announced that have not, had an official arrival date. I'm trying to see if there's anything here that's, like, worth talking about. Oh, yeah, Borderlands 4. I was a huge fan of Borderlands 2. I didn't like Borderlands 3 as much. I felt it was pretty weak on the writing side. The gameplay was pretty good. So hopefully, right, Borderlands 4, whenever it comes out, I would expect next year, honestly, in 2025. Um, Hopefully it's good on the, writing and gameplay side, right? My biggest concern for it is actually the writing, because I'm sure they're going to improve the gameplay in some way, but I think visually it doesn't look as appealing as the other ones, right? I'm not a fan of the Vault Hunter designs, and that's like the main thing. That I think the Vault Hunters, they don't look as interesting or like stand out as much. Um, they just look bland, right? So I am concerned if they're gonna like hold back on parts of the game, right? Like humor and whatnot, because I know they changed stuff like I think they were called like midgets in the second game, and they like changed the name to something, right? But yeah, there's like a whole bunch of stuff in that game that I hope they keep it more core to what Borderlands 2 was, instead of in a way you could put like softening it for Borderlands 3, right? Um but yeah, Borderlands 3 was just not really too crazy for me personally. I didn't really like all of it, right? I played through it multiple times, right? But Borderlands 4 is gonna be interesting. What else is here, right? Crimson Desert. Oh yeah, so this is the same people from the Black Desert devs, right? And this game was an MMO that I couldn't really get into, but this does look like it's like it looks interesting. Like I'm not really too sure how to feel about the combat. Like I've seen a bit of it, but the visuals do actually look insane, right? And so I'm curious if not only my rig can play this, but if the game will actually hold up, right? If it's not just like a visual tech demo, right? Because like there's plenty of games that people would say like tech demos like racing games. People just say racing games are tech demos, right? Because you're only doing racing, you're just showing off the cars and the power of the actual system. And so hopefully my new rig, whenever I build it, will be able to play this game, because this looks like it will be intense on your graphics, right? So yeah, there's that. Apparently, there's Deltarune Chapter 3 and 4 for those players. I'm not really interested in that, but I do know Deltarune is pretty big, right? Undertale like took over the gaming world for a while, right? There's this game called Demon School. What is this? Oh, I thought it'd be a bit more demon, but yeah, I guess that works. I was expecting something completely different, but not my style of game. But yeah, Gold Demon, right? We're looking for something interesting. There's Doom: The Dark Ages. Now, I played one of the modern Doom games. I don't think I've played. I don't know which one it was. I think it was Eternal, or like maybe it was Doom 2016. I don't know, but either way, this looks sick. It's basically Doom, but in the Dark Ages, right? Yeah, that looks sick. Very interested in this, right? I don't know when it will come out, right? Hopefully during summer, so I've got like some free time to play it, or maybe I'll be too busy with work or something. I don't know. But yeah, Doom is sick, and hopefully that's gonna be sick. Oh, and here's another one. So there's Dying Light: The Beast. So I was a huge fan of Dying Light 1, but I didn't care about Dying Light 2 at all. I never played it, but Dying Light: The Beast is gonna be a standalone game that could be hopefully good. It looks like you're going to back as playing as Kyle Crane, and you're gonna have superpowers this time. Which is weird because that means they kind of, because like in Dying Light 1, they had two different endings for what would happen. You'd either nuke the area. So there's also like a quick ending, right? And spoilers in case you haven't played it. But in Dying Light 1, at the very end, you could like nuke the map, right? And sort of like wipe out the zombies and yourself, right? So that you don't go outside. Or if you actually did go and kill, I think it was like the Night Mother, you could go and kill the Night Mother, but then you could escape into the outside world and continue spreading the infection as a zombie, because Kyle Crane became a zombie, right? And then I believe there was it was the end of the DLC. I don't remember like anything past that, to be honest with you, but yeah, there's a bunch of stuff going on with how they're trying to contain the zombie virus. But at least according to the Dying Light 2, that ending where they blow everything up and nuke it didn't happen, and that you escape totally fine, and are in a completely different area, because the zombie virus is spread out, right? And so this one I am interested to see like what they're going to change up with this game, right? It does obviously have its visual improvements for being a newer game. Um, but yeah, apparently he's been experimented on. He's gonna break out, and so they're taking it in a new direction, right? I'm curious to see if they'll bring back that joy from the first game, because I'll be real, like I like hate zombie games for the most part. Like I think it's boring and stupid. But I actually really like Dying Light 1. And it was like the one zombie game that I thought was like actually great that I've played. So hopefully this some somehow meets like those expectations or like the feeling of playing Dying Light 1 for the first time because that was like so unique and interesting to me. I think it was really great. Now, Elden Ring Night Rain. This is not the game I was expecting. So, first off, earlier I said Monster Hunter I think should just straight up win game of the year. This is not the game I was thinking was contending with. This I do think is going to be a great game. And maybe this should be considered with that, right? Because there are a ton of Elden Ring fanboys, and here's the thing: I also love Elden Ring, and these screenshots look even more insane than the trailer. What the hell, bro? I haven't seen these before. Um, but yeah, this game is gonna be insane. But this was not the one that I was saying would probably steal Game of the Year from my pride and joy of Monster Hunter. These bosses look insane, bro. I'm just excited to fight the Nameless King again. Okay, the Nameless King 2025 gonna be insane. But yeah, Night Rain is my second most hyped game of next year, right after Wilds. It's gonna be sick though, because FromSoft they cook all the time, right? There's Enshrouded Bronze, so it's gonna be a survival game, right? What else is in here? Oh, there's a new Gears of War game. Interesting. This is the one that I think is gonna steal Game of the Year from Monster Hunter Wilds, which should earn it, and it's Grand Theft Auto. Um, I've said it many times. I'm a GTA hater. I do not like anything about the game. I'm gonna be real. I'm not gonna spend like 20 minutes in this video that's already 60 minutes long, talking about why I don't like the game. But yeah, I do think it's gonna get glazed to high heavens and win Game of the Year, even though they're both not out. I think Wild should earn it. Okay, I'm gonna glaze Wilds. I'm gonna be that guy. Is there anything else in here? Oh, Little Nightmares 3 is coming out, so that could be cool. I've never played any of those, but I hear they're pretty popular. New Mafia game. What else is here? Oh yeah, there's a new Ninja Gaiden game. Oh, actually, speaking of which, so this is the 2D Ninja Gaiden game, but what I want to actually look up is Capcom. So Capcom is releasing a. Hold on, I gotta go back up to here. So yeah, Capcom. Oh, that's not what I wanted. Can I go to the Steam page? Nope. Oh, okay. I gotta scroll back down. Uh, ooh, there it is. Yeah. So Capcom is releasing a bunch of like old titles again, right? They're gonna come out with some new games that are all based on old titles. And oh, can I not look at it here? Well, anyways, there's like Okami and there's another game, and that's what Ninja Gaiden reminded me of. Like, I think that's gonna be sick, right? I'm very interested. I haven't played the first game, and maybe I should buy it because I think it's on sale right now. Um, but it looks really cool, right? So I'm very interested in seeing Capcom's new like um titles that are being revived, right? Because Capcom makes amazing games, right? And like I've been glazing them this whole time with Monster Hunter, and their other games, right? I think these new like like it's not remasters, but these sequels, if you will, to these older games, right, are gonna be really cool. So yeah, I'm very excited for those, right? There's Outer Worlds 2. I am a RPG enjoyer of like Skyrim. I didn't play Outer Worlds 1, um, so I really don't know. And like there's Avowed. I think I skipped over Avowed on this list. If Avowed's on like Game Pass, I'll definitely try it out. Because I did really like Skyrim, and so maybe I would like Avowed, right? But yeah, I just thought I mentioned that there's Outer Worlds 2, right? A similar style of RPG, and this is from Obsidian, right? The people that I did they originally made Fallout, right? If I'm not mistaken. Uh, it's not important. It's probably on here, right? Obsidian Entertainment. Uh, wait, what? Did they not make Fallout? Wait, this is all Microsoft. Wait, Xbox Game Studios. I want to go to Obsidian. Not whatever. I can do research on that later. Interesting space game, right? Oh yeah, this one could be interesting. Slay the Spire 2. I didn't play the first one, but I heard it's pretty popular. So that could be something interesting. Splitgate 2. I don't like Splitgate. I think it's bad. I'm surprised they even made a second one. To be real. Subnautica 2. I actually like Subnautica, even though I'm not the biggest fan of survival games. I played a bit of Subnautica 1. It was fun. And so maybe Subnautica 2, right, will be just a better version of that, right? So glad to see that's there. What else is in here? Um, I've heard so many things about Vampire Masquerade. Hasn't it been like delayed like indefinitely and it's only now finally coming out? Or no, this is the second game. I don't remember. I know there's like some controversy around behind that game. What else is in here? Okay. I don't see anything else that I'm super interested. Oh, is it this one? Actually, this one. So there's a bunch of these like Souls games. Yeah, yeah. So this is Wu Chang Fallen Dynasty. This actually does look really interesting, and I'm a huge fan of like these Souls likes, right? And again, maybe I missed some other games, but this also does look interesting to me. So I'm a huge fan of that. And there's also gonna be more upcoming games that aren't 2025 that we could talk about. Like Arknights Infield, that's more related to my channel, right? Like I'm sure some of you have seen my Arknights Infield um reactions, right? I am interested in the game. The visuals look pretty good, but I'm more concerned about like the actual content of the game. Same thing I was saying with Wuthering Waves and whatnot. I'm very concerned about the actual contents, right? Because if the gameplay is like mediocre, but the content's fun, then it's like okay, that works. But if it's the gameplay's ass, but like it's really good content, then it's like it's a bit rough. You know what I mean? Like there's concerns I have for that game. But definitely could be interesting. Hopefully, it is good, fun to play. So I'll have another game to add to my roster of games, which my backlog of games to actually play is incredibly long. But you know, uh, I guess another time waster, right? It is what it is. Is there anything else in here interesting that I personally oh yeah, Fable. Fable I am interested in because my friend was a huge fan of the original games, and this is gonna be another Fable game. So again, we'll see what happens with that, whether or not it's gonna be good or not. Visually, it looks really good. I'm surprised Xbox still hasn't announced a release date. They just showed off that it exists, right? But yeah, if this is the actual like game, visually it looks fantastic, and so hopefully they can keep that up with actually good gameplay and you know uh performance, right? All that good stuff. Is there anything else in here? Oh yeah, Killer Beam game. Dude, I can't believe they actually turned this into like a whole like franchise, the Killer Bean franchise. That's crazy. But yeah, it could be interesting. Let's see. But yeah, Mecha Break. There's a game, I think it's called like Rogue Hunter or something. There's a current mech game that actually looks pretty cool. I never actually ended up trying it. Maybe I should. Um, but yeah, I don't know. I'm not huge on like mech type games, right? And maybe it's because I haven't really played them, but it could be interesting. Uh, is it Steel Hunter? I think it's Steel Hunters. Yeah, it's this game. It's Steel Hunters. This looks pretty interesting. It had like a playtest recently, I believe. But yeah, it looks pretty interesting. Maybe I'll like it. Yeah, that's gonna be it for like this video. Really, I just want to talk about the games. Like, I do plan to like cover Monster Hunter Wilds. Um, Now I'm definitely starting on the slow end because I know people like Rage Gaming and Rurikon, right? The Monster Hunter heads, they're posting a lot of videos about it. While I haven't really, right? And that was what I was saying in my other video. Like maybe I'll start a secondary channel for Monster Hunter content. But yeah, there's a lot of games looking forward to in 2025, right? And that's really about it, right? I'm excited for these games. Hopefully you are. Like, subscribe if you do want to see any of the current content or future content, whatever it may be. Um, yeah, who really knows, right? Who knows? I think next year looks great for gaming. Be a fantastic year for gaming. I'm definitely excited for a lot of these games, and hopefully you are too. So, yeah, see you guys in the next one. I know it's not really a crazy thing for like a New Year's video, but yeah, Happy New Year's to everybody, and look, let's look forward to 2025. Hopefully, there's better horizons for everybody.